Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble News channel. You don't offer Ethereum for sale. What do I mean? Bitcoin is power. Don't waste your life, Bitcoin is life. Save your energy. Okay, I'll give you energy so that the fire doesn't go out. Not letting the fire go out when it keeps your family from getting cold is right, you have a life. It looks lovely, you can make pretty things. Do not jump off a cliff. Yes, and Satoshi gave you energy for business. You can get a picture of it, you can have it, you could save it. Do not throw it away. Bitcoin's value has grown by 50% every year for the past 4 years. When you sold it, you gave up the world's best performing asset. For what? When you diversify, you sell the winners to buy the losers. When do you go out and buy something? When your family is going to die, when you need to save your life, you sell your Bitcoin. If you want to protect your life or the lives of people you care about, you can trade it or borrow against it, but you only need one chair. Don't sell your Bitcoin. Everything else is inferior. The whole world is set up to make you sell your Bitcoin. It seems like everyone wants you to trade your Bitcoin for their hedge fund, stock idea, or something else. Just remember that no one is getting rich by telling you not to give them your money. By diversifying, you often have to sell the winner and buy the loser. In his most recent speech at Bitcoin Prague 2024, Michael Saylor talked about 21 rules for Bitcoin. This is one of them. Blockchain Prague, one of the biggest events of the year, is now over. Michael Saylor's opening speech, in which he shared his own 21 rules for Bitcoin, was the main event. As usual, it was a masterclass. Without further ado, let's look at the first 10 rules of Bitcoin in this movie. Let's talk about the 21 Bitcoin rules in the forum. The first rule is up first. People who understand Bitcoin buy it, while people who don't understand it criticize it. This is a shift in the way people think. It's just so deep. Some people will talk about it, and as long as you do, they will too. It's not clear that you get it when everything clicks for you. You're not just going to talk about it. You won't say anything bad about it. You are going to run, not walk, to the closest place where you can buy Bitcoin. For me, it was clear when it clicked that I had to buy it. On the other hand, there are many people who criticize it. The critics don't understand the paradigm shift yet, and even if they do, they'll still have 10,000 things to say about it. Rule number 2, before they're for Bitcoin, everyone is against it. Okay, it's not a shock. This guy's against Bitcoin. Why is that? This banker is against Bitcoin. Why is that? This bank is against Bitcoin. Why is that? Just why does this politician not like Bitcoin? Why do they not like Bitcoin? Because they don't understand it. Everyone will be against it. We are going to present such a serious new idea that a healthy organization, a healthy political system, or a healthy mind would naturally reject it at first. This shouldn't be a reason to give up. It shouldn't come as a surprise. Everything about this makes sense, so it should happen. Rule 3, in order to know that you fully understand Bitcoin, you must be aware that you will never fully understand it. Going to understand Bitcoin, if you think you do, if you've studied it, if you're sure you get it, that means you haven't quite got it yet. People who really get Bitcoin understand it because they know they'll always be learning more about it. What is Bitcoin? There's more to Bitcoin than just the protocol and the software. There's more to it than how you and other Bitcoin users deal with it. Bitcoins, or it's a bug. There is a virus in the economy. It's a virus of money. It's a virus of ideas. It will send waves through space and time. So to understand Bitcoin, you need to know how the current groups of adopters will communicate on layers 2, 3, 4, and 5. You need to know how the layer 3 apps will talk to each other through layer 2 protocols and layer 1 protocols. In 10 years, 50 years, and 100 years, you should think about what people who haven't even heard of Bitcoin will be doing with it. If you want to understand Bitcoin, you should think about what 10 billion people will be doing with it in 100 years. There are 300 million different groups using Bitcoin protocols and add-ons that haven't even been thought of yet. So when you think about how the idea will spread through space, time, and complexity, once you understand all the different ways people can organize themselves, you'll fully understand what Bitcoin is all about. How will a computer program, made in 10 years of living in online in 50 years, it will work with a million other AIs? Bitcoin, you're right that this is a very big chain response. There is a fire in the internet. It has spread through time, space, humanity, and all of humanity's vestiges. Of course, once you realize that, you realize you don't know everything that's going on in the minds of 8 billion people, 300 million corporations, or a billion things that are yet to come. That realization makes you humble, and it makes you want to keep studying Bitcoin. Rule number 4, about Bitcoin, you'll always be learning more about it. Put your money in a bank and save it in a paper currency. This will power you up with chaos. When you take your money and buy a stock, you're lending it to a country. People in charge of a business are borrowing your money. When you buy a building with your own money, you're lending it to the city mayor. When you buy art, you're lending your money to a culture and spending it in that culture. When you buy Bitcoin, you're lending your money to the gods of chaos and entropy. What's the odds that chaos will do better than city businesses? Countries' ways of life, it's a deep thought. You are in Europe before the Second World War. I give you a lot of money and a chance. Anyone in Europe can buy any land or building in any country. They can also own any business in Europe. In Europe, you can own art. You can put your money into European currencies and stocks. Let's say I give you the option of buying any stock in any country that is about to join the war in World War II, or anyone can own the one bank in Switzerland that will hold all the money of all the fighters. If you do that, everyone will put their money in the bank and then the war starts. Things start to fall apart and the war is a metaphor for that. In just 4 years, you'll realize that every building is dangerous. It could go off, and every business will probably fail. Any piece of land might be worth something or not.